been, of course, seeing scenes from across London and beyond today, celebrating the 80th anniversary of V-Day, the end of the Second World War in Europe. More on Thursday, of course. So many events happening across the region. But a book out on Thursday will take us to Cambridgeshire during the war, but with a twist. It's a historical fantasy where a hidden network of witches work alongside MI5 to fight a magical threat from within. It's called Her Darkest Hour, and Suzy Henderson is the author. Suzy, welcome. Thank you for being with us this Bank Holiday Monday. Now, there's a lot of research that's gone on here. I guess Cambridgeshire in 1939, the war itself, MI5 during the war, witches across East Anglia. You would have had to do a lot to get this book ready.
Yes, hi Louise. It's great to be here. Yes, I did. It was a mammoth task of research, to be honest. I'm quite used to writing about World War II. I've got other historical novels out, but this one was completely different. So to write the World War II side was fine. To write the witchcraft side of it involved probably the majority of the research, I think.
Did you then go down the route of witch trials, finding out about witches across East Anglia, or was it much more about the art of witchcraft as opposed to the historical aspect of it?
Yeah, for the World War II period, it was more the art of witchcraft, what people actually did, but obviously putting a bit of a sort of fantastical twist on it.
Okay, so we're consistently in the World War II period. We're not jumping time periods. This is definitely consistent in 1939. And so, how does the witchcraft come into it then, Suzy, or can you not say?
No, I can say I was in a bit of a fix, trying to write the next book, thinking, what am I going to write? Everybody's writing World War II and everybody's looking for a unique angle. And I was researching and came across a real story about a coven of witches somewhere in the New Forest who actually did a ritual one night, August 1st, 1940, to basically raise a corn of power, as they called it, by chanting and dancing literally all night for hours, probably 8 hours, I don't know, and to direct that energy to Berlin, to try and alter Hitler's mind and his generals to say, you will not invade. They wanted to stop the invasion of Britain, which was called Operation Sea Lion. Yeah.
So that's where the witchcraft element, the inspiration came in. Where does MI5 then come into it with witchcraft?
Well, without trying to give too much of the plot away.
Yeah, of course.
She's recruited by, it's actually well known, and another historical fact, that MI5 recruited, shall we say, ordinary civilians as well into the service, who had particular skills. So from Eliza's point of view, she has this particular skill. She's an accomplished witch. She's psychic. She can find missing people. So that comes up on their radar, and basically they ask her to join. And that is how they recruit her. In the book, they're actually looking for a German spy, and that is one of the reasons they recruit her for. But there's a rather unique twist in that the German spy is also on another mission to steal something that is a magical artifact that is actually tied to my protagonist.
So tell us about then your main character, Eliza. Where do we find her? So what inspired you to write her?
Well, it's really sort of probably not that interesting, to be fair, but when I was doing the research and I found about Operation Corn of Power, I immediately thought to myself, this is it. I've got to weigh in to a new book. And I was sitting there thinking, how am I going to write this? Am I going to use sort of like normal people who, today practice witchcraft, or am I going to go down the fantasy route? And whilst I was debating all of the angles, Eliza just suddenly appeared, which sometimes that just happens when you're writing. She just suddenly appeared, fully formed, this young woman from the Highlands. She lives on the Isle of Mull. Her grandmother is a witch, and she is a witch. And there she was.
Incredible.
Personality, voice, everything. And I just thought, you know what? Click. Because something did click. And it just came together. And I just knew this was it.
So, Suzy, Her Darkest Hour is out on Thursday. Where can we buy it?
It's available. It will be available online and any online store, ebook and paperback, and hopefully it will be reaching bookstores very soon.
Suzy, thank you so very much for being with us. Lovely to chat to you. What a great idea for a story. Perfect to talk about this day of all days. It is 25